What's going on, everybody? Sorry about that small family emergency. That's an absolute first time. Oh yeah, the He-Man Thundercat crossover. There was just a He-Man crossover recently with the Injustice DC characters that I hear is just absolutely wonderful. And there's a teaser pic of He-Man with the power of Shazam, which is just absolutely freaking cool. I know that this is like totally out of left field for Red Cup. I'm trying to get Baz back on. I'm trying to get Knack back on, but I'm not hearing from them right now. Super bad technical difficulties. It happens, but you know, family comes first, guys. There's really nothing else much more I can say. We're back. Happened. Yeah, saw that. Yeah, nah, stuff happens, man. You know, I'm not going to talk about my, you know, what goes on over here. It's not for everybody to hear, but you know, family situation. But the problem is now solved. Okay. Where were we? Well, we were ripping through the show pretty good. We got 3 people with us. Hopefully people start to join us back. This part of the fucking broadcast ain't going to get us much views on the after piece anyway, but so watch part 1 first, and then you catch this one a little later on. This is the continuation. I'm trying to get these guys. If anybody in the chat, you know, knows Knack or the Source Roll with Baz, please contact them. I'm hitting them up. Hey, live AGAIN. Okay. It's funny how like we live in such a time. It's almost like the friggin' Jetsons, right? Where I could like actually invite people on here on the phone, talk to you guys at the same time. It's pretty wild. So we're going to give it like a few minutes, but I'm not just going to sit here and wait. So for the people that are in the chat room right now, I know Rob Just a Fan is always posting. So by all means, hit me with some questions. We'll, you know, something that we were talking about earlier on in the show, perhaps, or anything like that. And we'll keep the ball rolling that way. I have like 1 or 2 more things I want to talk about. In the meantime, there was I'm going to be appearing on a podcast called the Sleeping Giant Podcast. The Sleeping Giant Podcast, gentleman was introduced to me recently from the guys in the Collector's Zone Cantina on Facebook, and I'll be appearing on the Sleeping Giant Podcast you can catch them on iTunes. And I'll be doing a sit down with him for next month. He does it once a month, so I'll be doing the sit down with him next month. Want to get that Mondo Batman the Animated Series figure. I'm not going to get it. It looks really cool. Now that figure was in my top 10 reveals for San Diego Comic-Con. Not this past year, but was it this past year? No, this past year it made my top 10 just for the paintwork on it. I think the paintwork on it is amazing. It looks like it popped right out of the cartoon. I love the cell shading style. But I got to be honest, man, that when they do animated series figures in 12-inch scale, like they just started doing the He-Man figures in 12-inch scale on Sideshow, and these things are like $200 or so. They just look like bigger versions of the 6-inch figures. You know, the DC Collectibles is doing an amazing job with their 6-inch figures. So when I see a 12-inch version of that, as cool as it looks, you know, I can't do it. I just can't bring myself. I actually recently got rid of my Force Awakens Kylo Ren to get the new Kylo Ren, because I'm just coming to the mind where if I'm going to be spending this kind of money on figures, they got to have like the really dope head sculpt with the detail and stuff like that. So I'm becoming more and more a fan of like head sculpts. That one's 120 to 150, I think. Yeah, I don't even know. I looked at pictures of it. I was like, wow, it looks really nice. But that was pretty much where it was from there. 5 viewers. Excellent. 4 viewers. Wow, it's just jumping up and down now. So by all means, anybody else, please drop a comment. And we will keep this going. I'm not getting any response from these guys in the messenger. So I'm just going to go back to where we were and got a QMX con. Yeah, the con is nice. QMX is doing some really nice stuff with their Star Trek figures. Like they really look like they really knocked it like out of the park. Yeah, no, it's an awesome head sculpt. I'm going to Toy Fair next month, so hopefully I'll be able to get an interview with QMX and get some more preview stuff for you guys. All right, so where we were before, we were looking at this figure right here. The statue right here, and it is a gorgeous Gorgeous statue. I am totally all over this thing. I'm not going to be getting it. I don't collect statues, but I just love the art and craftsmanship that goes into these things. It looks beautiful. And I think Sideshow does an excellent job with their female head sculpts and female you know, like looks, like the way the faces look. It's really beautiful figure, and I think it looks great. And if you're a statue collector, I think this is kind of like a must-have, especially if you're a DC statue collector. That is. I'm all alone here, guys. I don't have my peeps with me, so yeah, meh, okay. Nah, but she's crashing through the window, throwing her smoke bombs down. I think she looks pretty cool. Let's see. What else was on the docket for tonight? I didn't have much else, I don't think. Yeah, the Sleeping Giant podcast I wanted to mention. Shout out to Collector's Zone Cantina. Shout out to The Lair. You guys could check out, that's another one of our sponsors, Lair, thelair.nyc. You know, you go to the website, contact the guy, tell him Red Cup Review sent you, and I'm sure he'll be able to work out a deal with you. Yeah, you're back. Yeah, I'm back, but my buddies aren't with me, man. I can't get these guys to come back in. I'm trying to send them invites. I'm sending them invites on here. No one's answering the call. It's kind of like it's the end of The Last Jedi where something really bad had just happened, and now I'm sending the call out, but no one's answering. It happens, man. What are you gonna do? I saw 1/6 Forrest Gump. Yeah, that looks really nice. The 1/6 Forrest Gump figure is actually really nice. I don't know if that's a licensed figure though. I'm not sure. Oh, that Conan that I showed off last week, that Conan figure for what is it? Caustic Plastic. That's Kaustic. Caustic Plastic. I showed that off on. It actually went up for pre-order this week, and I believe it came. The final payment to me, they're selling the head sculpt separately from the cloth goods. It's real fur. It's real leather, and the figure is going to wind up coming out to just around $280 when it's all said and done. Because I had to buy the body separate because it doesn't come with the body. But if you already have a body or something like that, it's actually much cheaper. Oh, Baz, shit, he fucking answered the call. What's up, dude?
Answer the call like Cthulhu, man.
Yeah, hell's yeah.
Where's Knick?
I sent now. Knack's hitting me up too as you're talking. So Baz, by all means, continue talking about what you were talking about. I'll even bring up that statue again because you didn't get a chance to comment on it, and I'm answering Knack right now.
All of a sudden, like you're looking at a statue, then you got your friggin' cardigans off, whatever the hell the sweater you're wearing. Like what happened?
I was just I was getting hot and something happened in the house. I had to go attend to. So I'm not going to discuss it on the air. Nah, a little bit of you know, with the heart there, the heart palpitations a little bit, and then you know, it is what
really?
It is. Yeah, well, it comes and goes and ebbs and flows and stuff. Look, man, you know, we have 9 viewers in the room. We're not here to talk about my heart problems on the air and stuff. So let's fucking talk about the Batwoman statue while I contact Knack here.
Okay. Oh, well, this statue is so beautiful. It makes my heart beat an extra step.
That's what it was. I fucking saw the statue and it was da, 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 all right, I gotta go.
I saw those what you call it, what's that, Thor's what's the name of his Darth what?
Darth Castle?
Yeah, Darth Castle's stream. They were looking at this statue, and somebody was mentioned that her gloves are supposed to be gold, actually. But,
oh, really? Oh shit, Knack, he's back! Wow, here it comes. They're fucking pouring in now.
All right, guys, I had my vest on. I was gonna go out and get a burrito, but I'm back.
Okay, hold on a second. Now, all right, guys, take it away because PJ's asking me for an invite now too, so I'm gonna try to get him on here as well.
Can't you Uber eat the burritos?
I was gonna go get a Chipotle, man.
Yeah, but just call Uber Eats, have them deliver.
I'm not that sophisticated here, man. This is Colorado. We go get our own shit. Let me get plugged in here.
Wow, you guys are just a bowl of fucking shit for the people watching. There's just fucking dead air. I mean, for crying out loud, give me a fucking comment on the goddamn picture I have up, will you?
Dude, because you're always running your mouth. You're always running your mouth 100 miles per hour. And then you get lazy. and I'm just like zoning out, and then you want me to all of a sudden become Mr. Friggin' Chatty Cathy or something.
Yeah, when I fall, man, I need someone to
PJ!
catch me. PJ's with us.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Krennic, what's up, man?
Hey, hello.
What's up,
What's up,
man?
guys? Yeah, credit I'm getting. Listen, he helped build the Death Star. Come on, gotta give him some credit. He didn't have the plans, but he helped construct the Death Star.
Hey, listen, PJ, I see you've been on a purge lately, man. You know, you're gonna go get credit. You've been on this big purge.
Yeah, man. I gave up on the DCEU. I think they have no direction in terms of like what they're doing. So yeah, I purged most of my DC characters and my doubles. Basically, when you have quite a bit of Hot Toys, you start running out of room, and it's a waste to keep them boxed up, you know. And at some point, when you keep them boxed up, you're not going to go back, because obviously, Hot Toys are going to keep pushing and releasing a whole bunch of newer figures. So, I just felt that I have to have a focus in my collecting. And unfortunately, I mean, I'm not trying to say badmouth DC. I just felt that with the last Aquaman movie, I just don't know what they're doing.
Wow, I thought Aquaman was great, man.
It's a good movie. I'm not bashing the movie. I just feel that you go from DC movies, and I think we were talking about it in Darth Castle last night, is that the DC comic books and the earlier movies were all dark, and they're trying to go from the darkness to like the Marvel recipe of like a happy-go-lucky family oriented like film, which is great, but they gotta come up with their own identity, and what makes them DC, and not try to replicate or copy other franchises. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, totally. I get what you're saying. Knick Knack, you want to Kyle? You're a DC guy.
I'm a total DC guy. I got two things to say. First of all, I want to say, doesn't my vest look really badass? I just love wearing a vest. I feel like I need to go to a hardware store or an auto parts store or so. I never feel like more of a man than I'm wearing a vest. I got it for Christmas from my mom. It's really, really nice. Second of all,
dude, you look like a fucking head coach in the NFL right now.
That's pretty awesome, actually. Now, second of all, just to kind of piggyback on what PJ said about selling figures. I've never sold anything, and it's like such a problem because I can't get rid of stuff. Because if I sell it, I'm gonna regret it. So I'm like a hoarder here, guys. I am about 6 cats, a stack of newspapers, and a lot of cat shit away from being on a reality TV show, and not in a good way. So
no, I mean, yeah, I totally get you, man. Like, when I was selling my figures, and I was selling a lot of the DC figures, and the one that hurt me the most which I actually sold it to a local collector, which to me, when I sell it to a local collector, and I know that my figure is in good hands, that it's in a better home. It's almost like giving away, like, I don't know, like a cat, like you just couldn't have because for whatever reason, you have a baby come along or whatever, and you think that cat might just get in the way. So to help find that figure like a nice home, and where it will be in use, instead of being in the box and just hidden away. And these figures are expensive, and to have it boxed up like that, I'm a firm believer of displaying your stuff, especially something like an expensive figure. And for me, like the Wonder Woman training armor was such a beautiful Wonder Woman, but I had it boxed up because I had a lot of Marvel like Hot Toys and a lot of Star Wars, and every time I look at DC, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm not a fan. I don't know why. It's just that with the Justice League,
Wonder Woman.
I love Wonder Woman, but there's no.
You still have it.
No, that's why I have it. I love Wonder Woman because I love the movie, but you were just thinking like at some point they're all gonna come together and just be like this nice cohesive unit of of movies and stuff, just like Marvel. But now Batfleck's not going to be around. Supposedly, they're trying to find a new actor for him. They're apparently Superman's out of the picture, and I think Amy Adams came on an interview. She was interviewing Nicole Kidman for the Aquaman movie, and she was saying that, oh yeah, I'm not part of the DCU anymore. I'm not Lois Lane. And Nicole Kidman was like, oh really? I'm sorry. It's just like, come on, man. They need a fresh reboot and just kind of start over again. Hopefully maybe using some of the same actors and actresses and just do it right. Have a vision, have like a 10-year vision, Kevin Feige with Marvel. It's like, listen, this is what we're going to do and this is where we're going to end up. We want to end up fighting Darkseid,
Yeah, I don't want them to reboot. They just need to keep going. I think they just need to have some, just have some balls and keep going. Because I'm excited for Shazam. I think Shazam has some promise. I think they need to work things out with Henry Cavill. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I think he's a pretty damn good Superman. I mean, hey, we can't clone Christopher Reeves, so we gotta accept what we have. And I think he's done a really fantastic job. He'll never be Christopher Reeves, but nobody will. So they need just keep. I just would like to see them keep going, and you know what, and just keep doing the individual films, and then eventually do another Justice League. That's what I would love to see, but what I want doesn't seem to happen. So
yeah, I mean, which is great. Like, trust me, I love Henry Cavill, and I think he's an awesome Superman, but he's not going to be around again. I mean, it's just like you get invested in a character, and then they're like, next one. I don't know. Yeah. And same with Batman, Batfleck. I actually like Ben Affleck as Batman. He did an awesome job in Batman versus Superman. I mean, that warehouse scene was probably like one of the best Batman fight scenes I've ever seen on screen. He kicked butt, and he actually he practiced Krav Maga. Stuff like that. You actually use like fighting techniques you actually use in a fight, and now he became an alcoholic, and then he's like, all right, he's not. I don't know if he's even coming back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like the idea of where they went with the Justice League in the respect that I like that Batman was a little older, like he'd already seen all the shit, he'd already done, he was a vet. He was like a superhero vet, and he was old and jaded, and I liked that. And I liked that the Flash was really, really young and really, really green, and was like, and a lot of people cringed at the levity that character brought to the movie, but I actually really liked it. I thought he was great. Mm-hmm. And then of course you had Wonder Woman and you had Cyborg. And I thought it was the film itself was a little bit disjointed just because the lack of cohesion from two different visions, two different directors. Yeah, but I just agree. Overall I liked it though.
Yeah, but I mean, do you, I was going to ask you, Knack. I mean, do you agree that they should find their own identity instead of trying to follow the Marvel recipe? I mean, because Batman versus Superman was a dark movie. If you watch that movie, it's dark. And
a lot of people hated that movie, man.
I loved it. I
liked it too. I loved it when I first saw it. Then the more I watched it, I was like, you know what? This doesn't have as much repeat viewings because it's a long movie. It's a long movie, and it's like really taking on a lot mentally to kind of put yourself in that. Like the movie opens up basically like it's 9/11 happening, and it's really deep. So to kind of go back to that repeatedly is a little wearing on the soul. But DC's very reactionary. They seem to constantly be in like this course correction mode, and so that's no good. They need a unifying vision. Warner Brothers needs to say the fuck out of DC. Everyone's like, oh, it's DC, it's DC. It's Warner Brothers. Like, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys have Disney, and then you have Marvel Studios. Disney goes, okay, Marvel Studios, go make Marvel movies. And they're great.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers says, we're just going to make DC movies, and the board of directors are going to decide on whether or not they need a fucking bonus, so they're going to rush the movie out. Like, that's the problem over in Warner Brothers that's affecting the DC.
And that was the problem with Fox, too, because I remember listening to Ryan Reynolds in an interview, and, they weren't greenlighting Deadpool. It was actually him, like, releasing, like, a test footage,
Right.
And you know, even with that, like, you know, they didn't have faith in it, and you know, they, especially with the X-Men movie, they step in and they just do their, you know, the executives do their thing, and they're like, oh, we need this and we need that, and kind of ruins the movie and ruins like the, you know, the vision of like the director and stuff. But and that's one thing. That's one thing I love about Marvel, is that the fact that they have their own vision. They follow it. They have their own recipe. Maybe they'll put some check marks that they have to follow in terms of Marvel, what Marvel wants. But in the most part, they know what they're doing over there. They have it, you know, planned out and laid out.
See, what Marvel did that was really great, and I argue with the local comic shop guys about this all the time. And what DC is now, when they're like, oh, DC's trying to be more like Marvel. Marvel makes movies for the non-Marvel fan. They know we're going to the movies anyway. So the comic book fans and the superhero fans are going to the movies. So they're like, we could put out a pile of dog shit and put a fucking Ant-Man costume on it, and they're going to go fucking pay for this movie.
Yeah.
They make movies for the general public that does not know anything about these fucking characters, which and I argue with fanboys all the time about this, because when it comes to certain things, I get a little fanboyish too. But they make movies for people who don't know who the fuck these characters are. Now everyone knows who Ant-Man is. Fucking Ant-Man. Everyone, my mother knows who the fuck Ant-Man is now, you know, and she's a fan, you know. So they don't give a shit about the regular comic book reader or old school fan. Like, they changed the stories a little bit to suit, like, you know, something that's a little bit more acceptable. A lot of this guy Rodney that I'm cool with on the Darth Castle open mic, and he hated Thor Ragnarok. PJ, you know him.
Oh yeah,
he absolutely fucking hated that movie. That movie was good.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was funny. The fact that it was Ragnarok and it was like, everyone's dying in Asgard, let's crack jokes, that was stupid. Okay, that was just like, okay, I don't know how to feel about this. Everyone's getting slaughtered, but we're cracking jokes. Weird. But the movie had Baz and I were talking about this. Had a great soundtrack. It had a great director vision, like a vision of the movie itself. It was fun and exciting with likable characters. And their movies are just fucking fun popcorn movies, man. You know, and that's what Marvel does. So now, the average fan, the reason why every Marvel movie makes $1 billion is because everyone's like, hey, let's go have fun and laugh and just enjoy the popcornism of the movie. And they're not popcorn movies the way like the Transform movies are like bullshit popcorn movies. These are actually like good popcorn movies. So I
wouldn't even consider a Transformers a movie. It's just a Michael Bay. Oh, okay. This is for my taste.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, you haven't spoken in a while. Where do you stand on this whole thing? This whole plethora.
Well, I am not talking Marvel, DC movies. How many times have I had this conversation with you alone? I'm done. Whatever. Anyway, yo, PJ, what do you have from DC, man?
Right now I have nothing. I sold them all.
Oh, you sold them all? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to do a trade or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I put it up and people were just like hitting me left and right. And yeah, I sold them all, to be honest. Yeah, it was, I only have Marvel now. And those are the figures I'm keeping, you know.
You did more than that, though, dude. You were selling Ripley. I was like, damn, like, she's a classic character, man. I was like, he's really cleaning house.
Yeah, I was with Ripley. See, here's the thing. I love Ripley. The thing is, I have a strong feeling they're gonna have Ripley on a loader again.
Right.
You know, they did tease that like a while ago, and I have a strong feeling that they're gonna do it. Well, it depends, you know. I mean, but Ripley, she's good, but I only have her by herself. I mean, I don't have an alien. I don't have her with an alien. You know, it's just like looks, you know, like for me, when you walk into my man cave, it's like, okay, Star Wars, bam, Star Wars, Marvel, bam, Marvel, and it's like DC, and then a couple other figures that's just by themselves. And you know, I want to just kind of have a focus, because if you don't have a focus, man, it could get out of line, man. And I did get out of control. I did get out of control. I'm telling you, at some point I was just buying every figure that came out, and I was just like, wait a minute, like that's I mean, because I love everything, you know. I love a lot of pop.
Which Ripley is it from? Aliens 1?
Yeah, Aliens 1, yeah. So
okay.
You know, I
How'd she
mean,
look?
oh, she looked amazing. I love the sculpted hair, on her. At some point, she had like rooted hair. So
Did she
I'm
have
a
the,
fan
like,
of
the white
sculpted hair
panties
personally.
underneath?
yeah, she did. She had the watch
Oh.
too. Yeah.
Oh, man.
The Rob just a fan, not to cut back to this, but I want to address the chat real quick. I think hits the nail on the head, and he's been hitting it consistently with his last few posts where he talks about the DC is like the grandparents, while Marvel is like mom and dad, and not dissing DC's like the grandparents, but talking about making the DC heroes a little bit more classic, like the way Alex Ross portrays them, and he mentions that as well. Rob just a fan. And I think that the DC characters carry a sense of regalness with them and mythos that the movie should focus on and capture.
Mhm.
And I think that would be like a nice direction for them to go in. But we could sit here and
That is such a good statement. I love that statement so much. One thing I think the reason why is there's a lot of back and forth, with the movies, and that it always kind of feels like, and I kind of think there's some accuracy to this. Feels like Marvel always gets a pass. I mean, if you look at Avengers: Age of Ultron, line it up next to Justice League. There is no, in my opinion, there is no discrepancy in quality between those two films. It just really comes down to which group of superheroes do you like better, and that's gonna be your preference. And what drives me bonkers when we're talking about whether DC needs to go dark or DC needs to lighten up or Marvel's too light. At the end of the day, we're talking about people that dress up in fucking tights, guys. So yeah, there should be some levity to them, but not at the expense of the story, which sometimes I think Marvel just goes so overboard with the way that the way that they try to put levity in there, and the way they try to identify their characters through specific shticks kind of drives me nuts. Now, I recently watched. Now, I kind of wait for them to come out on Netflix because, going to the movies, I take the whole family. That's $100. So, unless it's something we're really just angst to go see, we kind of stay on the sidelines. But I just recently, finally, over the Christmas vacation, watched Avengers Infinity War. Finally saw it, guys.
Nice.
Finally saw it.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, now we can talk about it.
Yeah, I was a little late to the game. But I tell you what. What the movie there's so much in that movie. I know a lot of people love that movie. I'm not shitting on it, but there's just so much. They tried to cram so much in that movie that at times it just felt fucking silly. I mean, you got the beginning of the movie, right? The beginning of the movie, you got Robert Downey Jr., you got Tony Stark, and he's hanging out with Gwyneth Paltrow, Pepper, and they're talking about their life together, and they're talking about they're like doing this flirty thing in the park where they're talking we could have a family someday. And Gwyneth Paltrow's like, and her face looks like a saddlebag, like she was in menopause 5 years ago. But that's not the point. That was probably the least believable part of the movie. But nevertheless, so they're talking about it's like this pleasant conversation, and then just out of nowhere, Doctor Strange rips a hole through the universe's asshole and steps through it, and everyone's just like, this is a totally normal thing going on here. This is totally normal. We're having a conversation in the park after this guy just walked through a trans-dimensional shift, and no one even looks at it or anything. It's just weird. There were some other things in that movie that just kind of felt weird and forced. Like the instant the Guardian of the Galaxy cast came on screen, of course they're in their spaceship jamming out to some 1970s adult contemporary rock music. I mean, it was just so that's their shtick. Here they are. It was just I don't know. There was just some things in that movie that bugged the crap out of me. That if you put that in a DC movie, people would have been like, "That is the stupidest damn thing ever." But because it was in a Marvel movie, it's okay. It's because DC characters, guys, DC characters are so iconic. They are so ingrained in our culture. 1,000 years from now, guys, 1,000 years from now, when scholars and anthropologists are looking back at 20th century America, they're not going to be talking about Spider-Man. They're not going to be talking about Iron Man. They're going to talk about Superman. People will know who Superman is in 1,000 years. He is like the Achilles. They will not know who Iron Man was. And so from that respect, DC has such a bigger mantle to carry as far as how they produce and how they display their superheroes. So what Robert Just Fan was hitting on is dead on, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
Did I talk too long? Sorry, guys.
No,
No, it's fine. I mean, but the thing is, like I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with the DC movies and their characters. It's just they need to. I mean, okay, Marvel has their shtick, and it's consistent, regardless of whether you like the movie or not, whether you like the superheroes or not. It's a consistent thing. It's a consistent. That's what they're known for. Marvel humor, Marvel this. That's their thing. What can you say about DC? You know, they come out with Batman vs Superman, dark movie. They come out with Aquaman. That's a super funny movie. They're making they're kissing in the battle because that's one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kiss my wife when I'm gonna getting shot in the face. You know, it's just one of those things. It's that okay? Find your identity. Like whatever. Don't follow anything. Don't follow the Marvel recipe. Don't follow that. Find your own thing that people will follow and love you for. Perfect example was The Dark Knight. Best DC movie, hands down. Besides,
what they did was you got a guy like Christopher Nolan to come in and say, I'm going to fix Batman and revive him for a modern audience and all that other stuff, right? So my solution to all this, if I was in charge, is hire Paul Dini. You're in charge. You are Kevin Feige. Take it away, guys.
What?
I says if I was in charge of Warner Brothers, I would say, hey, get Paul Dini on the line, hire this motherfucker, and put him in charge of everything because that man can do no wrong. I have not seen one bad Paul Dini thing ever, practically, except for maybe out of 150 episodes of DC animated stuff. What was it, like 5 or 6 bad ones? I mean, his track record speaks for itself. He's like the fucking Bill Belichick of DC cartoons.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, because from before Christopher Nolan's Batman, and to be honest, I didn't watch Batman Begins because I was sick and disgusted with the last Batman movie, which was what's that one? I forget the one with George. Was it George Clooney? George Clooney. Yeah, Batman. Oh my God, that was horrendous. Right? I watched that movie. I get disgusted. Fast forward how many years later, and my friend, I'm like, oh, there's a new Batman movie. I'm not gonna watch it, right? No, you gotta watch it. Really? Why? It's the same director as Memento. Really? Okay, he's doing that. It's like, dude, just gotta watch it. Went to the movies, watched it, fell in love with it. This is what I'm talking about. This is the Batman that is for So I mean, there is hope. They just got to find themselves. That uniqueness of Christopher Nolan's Batman should be followed. Like they should find their own identity. Don't follow anybody. Don't follow Marvel because we're all sick and tired of Marvel's humor. And they're coming out with more movies. Just like I said, do your own thing, DC. Do your own thing. Titans, perfect.
The problem I have with Titans is great. The problem I have this love-hate thing going on with Marvel movies right now, whereas I'm like, oh, another fucking Marvel movie, and then I watch it and love it. And then I'm like, I'm not really, giving a fuck about the new Marvel movie, and then I watch it and love it. So it's like, all right, now at this point, it's like, okay, the new Marvel movie's coming out, whatever. When I watch it, I'll fucking probably like it. So at this point, it's almost like changing my fucking socks. When it comes to Marvel movies.
How is he Captain Marvel with Brie Larson?
I don't give a fuck about Brie Larson or Captain Marvel, and I'm a huge comic book fan and never did. But I never gave a fuck about Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and I think they're great characters now. So, I mean, I have to kind of trust in the Marvel method, but what I'm seeing from the trailers, like at least when I saw the trailers for the Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, wow, this looks cool, new and interesting. When I watched the trailer for Captain Marvel, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, all right, now we're trying. Like this seems like we're trying.
Right. And you know what, when I was making just to kind of, kind of U-turn back to my point when I was talking about just sort of the things that I found kind of cringy in the Infinity Wars movie. And that's not to say I didn't think it was a good movie. I was entertained. I watched the whole thing. I liked it. Overall, I liked it. But all I was saying, my point was that some of the things that I found really cringy in that Marvel movie always feels to me like it gets a pass. But if DC did something like that, it would be like it would be cringy. It would be something that people would be talking about.
The Infinity War, besides me, I think I thought the movie was fantastic. But this isn't about whether we thought the movie was good or not. I'm trying to make a point based on what the Russo brothers were able to accomplish in that movie has never been done ever. What Marvel did leading up 10 years to release that movie, and then the execution of that movie and being able to juggle like 20 to 30 characters and have everybody do something cool, look cool, and no one gets shortchanged, that's a damn near impossible feat. And I give them fucking total credit for that, man. Whether you felt as though some parts felt short or not, or was kind of like cringy, the acting was. Look, Robert Downey Jr. can carry, he can carry anything, but I just thought that for the director to take on that much on their shoulders and be able to fucking catch the ball and run, they scored a touchdown with it, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree.
But the difference in the DC universe is that, if DC did something like that, they would be considered cringy. That's just because it's the world is filled with Marvel fanboys. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to address that.
But yeah, the thing is that then they're copying Marvel. They shouldn't do that. They should just find their own identity. They don't have to copy and do that same thing in their movies. Just follow the Titans. Perfect example. Titans. That was, to me, that should have been a movie because that was such. I mean, they were like, yeah, it's Batman. Fuck Batman. And you're like, whoa, what's going on here? This is not like your kosher, DC kind of like show. Like, it's not CW. Perfect. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what people will watch. Those movies. They'll watch those shows. Don't have to do Marvel things. You can find your own identity. That's my saying.
No, here, wow, some are down on the Marvel hate. Now, you got to realize, Kev's Matrix wrote that in the, we're not just hating on Marvel yet. Me, Baz, Knick, Knack, we're all DC fans, but we also like Marvel. I mean, at least, I'm not going to speak for Knick, Knack, but me and Baz, we love Marvel too. It's just a matter of,
yeah, I like both,
wanting both to be, like, a rising tide should lift all ships, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't get when people don't want DC to succeed. It's like, look, you want DC to put out awesome content so that it forces Marvel to put out more awesome content. See how that works? Yeah. It's not, oh, screw them, I don't want them because I want my guys to win constantly. It's like, no, you need the other guys in the division, for a sports reference, to be on your tail. You need to constantly be having to chase that brass ring because it always keeps you at your best.
Yep, I agree.
That's totally true. No, to me it's like a Marvel is I'm sorry, DC to me is like Coca-Cola. It's an iconic American classic, and I drink it and it's freaking delicious. That's not to say I won't drink a Pepsi once in a while either.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love it. But yeah, so going back to me selling my figures, and plus, there's a whole bunch of figures coming out this year. A lot of Star Wars stuff that I'm looking to pick up. So yeah, I just need the room, man. I definitely need the room.
All right, so I'm glad I got you guys on. Now we're all together, right? The band's back together on this episode. So I'm going.
Yeah, a happy New Year, by the way, guys. Sorry I haven't been on. It's just been, the holidays and the New Year. It's been very hectic with Yeah, no, it's life, man. Life has to come first. So happy New Year to you guys. I hope you guys had a good holiday, a good New Year's. Knick, Knack, I love the mic. I love the internet. Oh my God, I can see your face. Nice. I love it.
It looks better, right? Yeah.
You're coming in way clearer this week. It's great.
No, we had the internet gnomes in here yesterday or 2 days ago, installing cable internet. So it's much better. I'll just plug it. I've got Xfinity now, not Comcast or not CenturyLink. So much better here.
Wait, what'd you have? So you had cable now. What'd you have before?
I had CenturyLink internet before, and CenturyLink was having outages all over the western United States, Colorado, Arizona, Montana, Idaho, all over the place. They're having outages. We didn't have a full outage here, but I did like an Ookla test the other day, and I was only getting like 1.2 something gigabytes per second download here. So it was ridiculous. I didn't even want to attempt to be on a live stream. I would have looked like I was coming at you guys from the moon. So yeah, but no, all is good here. All is good here in the Plastic Planet. We're getting modern now. So
looks great, man. Looks great.
So gentlemen, this probably had something to do with the fact that I just need shit to review on this channel, coupled with the fact that I had to debate you fucking numbskulls on the prequels, but my pre-orders this year so far, I'm still waiting on Neo to come in, PJ. So when he comes in, I'm definitely going to shoot you a message. Yeah. But
you're gonna love him, man.
I got the new Stormtrooper coming, right? The new Stormtrooper that they released.
Which one?
The Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper.
Oh yeah, yes.
Right?
The deluxe version.
No, I don't need that. I don't need a $70 backdrop for him. I'm just getting the regular Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Are you also getting General Holdo with a fresh bag of maxi pads?
Oh Christ! Stop! It's not time yet.
Listen, with that, I gotta go, man, because I gotta wake up at like 4 a.m, bro. So.
Oh man,
that's all right, cool, man. We're gonna have to wind it down soon anyway on my end too. But Baz, obviously, it was great having you on, and we will.
Baz, good seeing you, man.
Same here, guys. Yo, try to come back next week. Let's do this Last Jedi freaking pile on.
Yeah, I'll be ready. I will be ready.
So my reveals are my reveals. My orders.
Peace out, guys.
All right, later, Baz.
Later, Baz.
Later, man.
Count Dooku and fucking Darth Maul because of you assholes. Okay?
Yeah.
So I know, the guy who hates the fucking prequels is breaking his one fucking rule and buying prequel figures now.
Hey man, I hate The Last Jedi and I bought Kylo Ren, so and I love that Kylo Ren.
Yeah, the figure. Look, Kylo, whether you hate The Last Jedi or not, the fucking character is awesome. He's very well written.
Yeah.
And it's just a better iteration of him than the Force Awakens version of the figure. And I got Darth Maul. Because I have a feeling he's going to be like a huge sleeper hit. I mean, I saw him in person at New York Comic Con and he really fucking blew my mind. Plus, he's just a dynamite looking character. And I was talking to a friend of mine who equally probably hates the prequels even more than I do and thinks there is absolutely no redeeming those movies on any level, except we were talking about our conversation that we had on here, and we were talking about the Phantom Menace, and he was like, yo, the only thing that makes the Phantom Menace cool is Darth Maul. He was like, Darth Maul is fucking cool as hell, and he'll always be cool. So I was like, you know what? Let me just get him for fucking review purposes. And then I was like, you know what? Count Dooku, I always liked him, and it's Christopher Lee. And I can fucking have an excuse to have a Christopher Lee figure in my collection. And I think Christopher Lee is fucking awesome. So there you go. So there you go, guys. You got fucking.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
I'm happy for you, man. You'll be very happy with those figures. Did you get the deluxe version for the Darth Maul?
No, I don't need him riding his fucking motorcycle, man.
Man. I got the deluxe version.
I don't really have the room for it either because he'd probably have to be in the cabinet just by himself on that on the bike. And if I'm, I got Darth Maul, and I'm like, you know what? The only other figure I would get from Phantom Menace if they ever released him, and I would still have to try to pull myself back from the ledge, would be Liam Neeson.
Qui-Gon,
yeah. I'll have him dueling Qui-Gon if I'm going to set that display up at all, So that would probably be my display option for that. But the Count Dooku is just a regular fucking release, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I have most of the Star Wars that's releasing this year on pre-order, which is I am getting that Yoda, even though I already have the Empire Strikes Back Yoda, but I love Star Wars. So I'm getting Count Dooku, Darth Maul. I am getting, because I was just watching it with my kids, is John Wick. So
even though I still gotta see this movie, people have been telling me you have to see it. You have to see it.
Are you kidding me?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, you have to see it, man. Rob, you have to see it. I'm telling you, you will love it. You will.
Yeah, no, I know. I hear the action is just freaking off the chain. So it's something it's on the list.
Kill this dog, and that's all I have to say. You're screwed. But yeah, I mean, it's I do have quite a few Hot Toys coming in, so that's why I had to kind of. I'm also getting Director Krennic because I have the Death Troopers and the Shore Trooper, so I want to have Director Krennic with those two in the background. So,
well, that makes total sense.
Yeah,
totally.
And I can't believe how much now the prices of the Death Troopers just shot up, man. I'm telling you, go back like 6 months, people were like trying to give away the Death Troopers. And now it's like they went from that like $200 and below to like $400 for a Death Trooper now. And
that's crazy. I mean, look, man, to me, that's as much of a collector as I am. See, I'm not a collector in the sense of the word collector, right? You have people out there who collect and they collect Knick Knack, but and I'm not snapping on you, bro, because the reason why you get a pass in my eyes, Knick Knack, is because you live in the plastic planet. Like your downstairs and your upstairs is like an immersive world of pop culture goodies.
Yeah.
So it's not I'm just stacking shit on my shelves. You actually have a little bit of, rhyme and reason to your stuff.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, there's a strategy here. There's no doubt there's a strategy. I am finding I am buying a lot less these days. Honestly, I'm buying a lot less.
Yeah.
But some of that's just, you get in your 40s and you're like, I'd like to fucking retire someday. That kind of comes through your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, my kid's going to be in college in 4 years, and that kind of comes through your mind. And so these things are these goddamn responsibility monkeys are climbing up my back.
Yeah.
And every time I go to pop on and order a Hot Toys figure, I kind of,
Yeah. And that's also another thing is that, like, like you said, Knick Knack, as we get older, and for me, I have like 3 kids, so I'm also cutting back on a lot of stuff that I pre-order. Like the Doctor Strange, I could have picked it up, but I'm trying to save money, and I'm actually going to get through like a local shop here that's actually hooks me up with a good discount. So stuff like that. Like I would love to get it for my channel, but to actually my guy in Hong Kong quoted me, and he actually said, don't buy it. He's like, here's the quote. It was like $360 to get a ship from Hong Kong to me. I was like, yeah, no. I mean, I love to review it for my channel and get it right away, but yeah, no, that's not working out.
First of all, let me just stop you right there, PJ. That is the coolest thing I've heard all day. You have a connection in Hong Kong. It sounds like a Jackie Chan movie, dude. That's just fucking awesome. Dude.
Yeah, man. It's like Rush Hour 4. I mean, like, yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah, if you guys ever, let me know. I'll hook you guys up with my guy if you guys want something pretty quickly.
We got a few questions in the chat real quick. We got to obviously, when the questions come in, I gotta swing back over to the chat every once in a while and answer them. Who's getting the Sideshow 1/6 Jabba? I was, and I'm not going to. I was contemplating selling my '89 Batmobile, and I was talking to Bads about it behind the scenes, and he was like, "It was awesome," because I'm doing the same thing. I'm building a fucking Star Wars collection out of Hot Toys.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it was awesome as Jabba would look with the Luke next to him and all the other characters, and it would look great. When the day ends, you have a beautiful 1989 Batmobile. That's the fucking Batmobile to me. The Batmobile that I would have, I would personally want in my collection would be the 60s.
Yeah.
But he's like, you have a beautiful, sleek-looking vehicle that is instantly recognizable over just a fucking fat slug. When the day, when it's all said and done, he's just a disgusting fat slug, and he's ugly to look at, and he's only cool based in the context that he's in with the other characters around him. So that's what got me to walk me back from that expensive ledge.
Yeah, for me,
I've got.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go. I was just gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say I have the 2006 to 2008, 2009 Sideshow Collectibles Jabba the Hutt 1/6, the first one they did. I have that upstairs, and you know what? I still think it looks fantastic, and I just cannot vindicate or validate, I should say, that $800 price tag on that stuff.
That's another big fucking deal. It's $800 now. It's a bit,
back in the day, I paid $100 for the Jabba. And he's mostly just vinyl. He's kind of this lightweight vinyl thing you could, and then the Polystone throne was $300. And then I think I paid $40 for the additional creature accessory pack. So all's told, I was like, under $450 for the entire thing. And that's doesn't even like scratch the, the halfway point of what this current one's going for. So I just can't validate it in my world.
Yeah, not exactly. I'm with you there.
Yeah, I'm with you on the price point. I think they overpriced point this Jabba the Hutt. I mean, I would have paid like 500, maybe 600 most for Jabba, but 800, was it 800 something? I forgot how much the price point
800, then you got to factor into shipping and also tax now, because now the internet, you're going to have to pay tax no matter what fucking state you live in.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to build my Scum and Villainy line with that, but for $800, no way, man. That's just too much. I think I don't know how. I'll wait for a sale at some point, maybe for a spectacular sale. Maybe
even then they're not going to take. Well, they're going to take 10% off. You get $80 off of it. Fuck that.
Yeah. I'll wait till it starts showing up at Ross, then I'll get it.
Yeah, I mean, and that just takes up a lot of space too, man. Like,
it's massive. That's why I'd have to get rid of one of my vehicles for it, and I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, not the '89 Batman vehicle, man. No, don't do that. No way. Absolutely not.
All right, guys. It's once again, it's like 11:30. It's getting late. I want to wind us down. Unfortunately, we had that mishap happen.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I've been getting panic attacks ever since the summer, on and off, and it's been kind of fucking with me. And sometimes I need like 10 minutes to just kind of get my brain under control. But I don't really want to talk about it here because I'm not looking for a fucking sob story on the I gotta stay strong for the Red Cup family and my buddies here. But,
I saw your review. Yo, your Mezco reviews are on point, man. I love it.
Oh
yeah, they're it's all natural review. It's straight to the point. Yeah, I love it, man. Keep up the great work with I saw your Spider-Man one and I loved it, man. And Knack, thank you for shouting me out on your Obi-Wan video.
Oh man. Oh, dude, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Well, your video kind of really inspired me to pull the trigger on it, so I had to kind of give you the shout out. And PJ, I got to tell you, you got me onto a couple of apps on my phone that are really, really helping me and my production here on the Plastic Planet. So yeah, thank you.
Let me know if you guys need any help with.
Yes, I do, PJ, and I have to fucking. I left you my phone number a long time ago. I know we're both busy guys, being with families, but I got to get you on the phone so we could talk some production stuff.
Oh yeah, of course, man. I'm always here. Hit me up, and we'll talk and stuff.
All right. Before we bid a farewell to do, because I'm gonna have to go soon. Everybody, I'm giving this bad boy away. The Thor Ragnarok figure I just did a review on.
How do I get in? How do I get in on that too?
Okay, so you gotta go. You gotta be a fan of the Red Cup review, right? Subscribe, like the video, and comment on it. Then you gotta go and join the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. There is a post in there about
Collector's Own. Oh yeah, they subscribe to my channel. Oh
yeah,
and I talk to them all the time on like Dark Castle and stuff. So I'm gonna do that.
Go in there and then find.
I didn't know that they have their own. I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't know they have their own webpage.
Yes, no, the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. You enter there, you find the post where this video is up. You post in there so that they know that you joined up with them. You have to actually request to join in the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook, and then the admin there will send you a personal message and gives you a welcoming. So he'll be able to track who's in the Red Cup review and who's also part of the Collector Zone Cantina, and you will be entered into this. It's 2 weeks from yesterday, guys. So you got 2 weeks to enter into this damn thing. So whatever, we're giving it away. So join, fucking subscribe to us and try and get yourself a Thor figure and stuff.
That's awesome, man.
Everybody in the chat, Art G, what's up, brother? He's like, I entered. Yeah, no doubt.
Art G, what's up, man? He's a good guy, man. Yeah, awesome.
Everybody subscribe to the Paradox Nerd. Subscribe to Knick Knack's Plastic Planet. Subscribe to the Sauce Roll with Baz. He doesn't really post that much. He's usually, with me on here. And obviously the Red Cup review. Gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for fucking joining us back up again. And it was a rough go about an hour ago, but I'm glad everyone was able to come back and kind of, keep the whole thing going and stuff. So I love you guys. Nothing but love for every one of you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on again, Red Cup and Knack. Always a pleasure.
Oh, always a pleasure, sir.
Oh, I can't wait to talk Star Wars next week.
Yes. So I'm gonna have to rewatch this shit and put my body armor on. Everyone in the chat, please like the video. Please remember to like this video. It helps us with the algorithm. And go check out Knick Knack's Plastic Planet and the Paradox Nerd. Give them some likes and comments and some love too. And don't forget to enter once again for the Thor giveaway in the Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. I am Rob Banks. This is the Red Cup review, and maybe next week you guys can watch me get my head beaten over The Last Jedi. We'll see you then.